Hey, what's up everybody? Night Batman here. Just wanted to wish you guys a belated Happy New Year's. Finally got around to doing a new video. So for I guess my first video of the 2013, I just wanted to do a little review on the books I got a couple weeks ago. So to start off, I'll go with Superman Earth 1 Volume 2. This book was definitely, in terms of scale, a lot smaller compared to Volume 1 because, you know, Volume 1 dealt with a huge alien invasion. So it's kind of hard to top that when you go into Volume 2, where it focuses more on Parasite, which is Superman's main enemy in this book. We do see Lex Luthor, but it's mainly like kind of a small appearance, and it also helps set up for the next book, which seems very likely from the ending of this. It has really good art, pretty much the same as the Volume 1, and what I like about the story is that even though it's not, like, you know, up to the same epic scale as the first volume, this one is definitely focused more on the human aspect. With Superman Earth 1 Volume 1, it was more about like identity and finding your place in the world, which is what I liked about reading that book, because even up to now I don't know what I want to do with my life, and it was interesting to see Clark trying to like find his place in the world. And with Volume 2, it's more on like, you know, being vulnerable, and also what having so much power can do to you. And also the little story about Clark and his kitty, his cat, his cat that he grew up with, which was a really emotional story. What I also liked was how Superman also lost his powers and was temporarily human, and later in the story when he gets his powers back, he looks back on that moment and he really admires how everyday human beings can go out on the road even though they're very vulnerable compared to him, and they could easily die at any moment. And when he learned like the true nature of that vulnerability and how at any moment you could just die or lose your life, that's when he probably cherished life more than he actually did before, and sees just how fragile it is. So if you haven't read Volume 1, definitely check it out. I don't know if you might want to buy it, but just give it a read. It's a nice little look on a different take on Superman's origins. And with Volume 2, definitely also check this out. I love this book. I love Volume 1 and 2, but with the hardcore Superman fans, they might be hesitant and might be on the flip side of this new take on Superman, which is a little darker, but still the essence is still there. He's still the Superman that we're used to. So Volume 2, definitely give it a read, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the next book is I, Vampire Volume 1, and I really enjoyed it. It has some nice little tweaks to the vampires' powers, and it has a good love story between Andrew Bennett, and Mary, the Blood Queen. I like how it shows that they're deeply in love in the beginning, or through some flashbacks, and then when we flash forward to now, Andrew is like really hell-bent on stopping Mary because he really values the humans, and he hates how, you know, savage vampires are, and pretty much it's about him trying to stop his one love from taking over the world, because she believes that vampires are much more superior than humans. So the art was good. If you guys have read 30 Days of Night, it's almost like that, but more maybe cartoony compared to it, and it has some really good violence and gore in it for any of you interested in seeing those in a comic book. The story is good, pretty simple. Again, Andrew was the one character that really stood out and makes the story worth following, so I highly recommend that you read this book. Next up, Action Comics Volume 1. The story is, well, I liked some parts. It felt like it kinda went a little too slow, but I did like how the world was reacting to Superman, and give it a look or a buy. And last up, Justice League Volume 1 of the New 52. This one was a fun read, surprisingly, because of how not just how the characters interact with each other, but their first impressions of each other, like how Green Lantern constantly picks on Batman for not having powers, which is pretty funny, and I won't list any of the jokes because I'd rather have you guys read it if you haven't. The art by Jim Lee is amazing. You get a nice scene where Aquaman shows off his true potential and definitely earning more respect than he ever has so far in comics. We get an origin story for Cyborg. Everyone else is pretty much like, their stories have been established, so they're all just meeting up, and they also run into Cyborg. And the main villain is Darkseid, and I was hoping that he would have like maybe a longer fight with the whole League, but with what we got, it was okay. The art looked good during those scenes. If you guys are just starting on Justice League and you haven't gone to the beginning, I suggest you buy this book. You're gonna really enjoy the way the characters interact and their first meetings and the constant pickings on Batman, even though I'm a Batman fan. But yeah, definitely get this look through. I guess, yeah, that's my review on Justice League, and that's been my book review. I should have a whole comic book haul coming out, probably also some figures haul, action figure haul with it, because one package should be coming in this week. And I'll also be having a anticipated movies of 2013 video coming out hopefully this week, so maybe check out for those. And to my new subscribers, just wanted to say thank you so much for subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this video and my future videos, and I hope you guys had a great New Year's. If you're still celebrating, stay safe, and I hope you guys have a kick-ass day and a kick-ass week. So until the next video, later.